been a family business for the vineyards part of it for 3 generations, and I decided to not go directly into the grape scene, but go into the wine scene, which indirectly uses the grapes, but I built on it to try to add value to the base farm. Farming wasn't quite my thing, but having a bio background, was going into medicine and getting as far away from the farm as possible. Decided to come back, and I did work on the farm post-college, but it just still wasn't the right thing. And then came back and worked for a local winery and knew that's actually the right fit. Get to meet with people, talk, interact, and hang out over a glass of wine, and it's not as the monotony's not the same as it would be like in the vineyard driving up and down a row. There is something great about being in the vineyard, but I find it more rewarding on this end. So Brix is a unit of measurement for how we determine the sugar level in the grapes. And wine varietals, traditional European wine varietals, Riesling, Cab Sauv, Chardonnay, the biological maturity, the flavors in the grapes start to really show up at about 21 Brix. It's not the be-all, end-all number. Sometimes we get up to 23, 24 Brix. Ice wine, when we freeze it, get to 40 Brix. But the design really looked cool, and the name, kind of paying homage to the grapes. Brix, the scale, it's done so much for our family. And it's our baseline. 21 Brix, where it all begins. Our local demand, I can barely keep up with that at this moment. As we grow into it, we do plan to expand and reach a bit further. My best-selling wine is Thirsty Elephant, which is a house blend with native grapes from the area, and Riesling being a close second. We do 3 different styles of Riesling. I think that's one of the best varieties in for the state of New York, and it really showcases our climate, our terroir, and it's one we do consistently very well. And so Riesling is close number two, and in my eyes, my favorite and the one that I enjoy the most. Yeah, so the 2 wines we're making for Knox International, Love Red and Love White, again, I think showcase the region, our terroir, flavor of our soil, our land. We have different glacial deposits of different minerals in the soil, and the grapes suck that up from the ground, and so you can get expression of your soil, your dirt, and into your final product. And then every region's a little bit different, and so that's why you can say that's our expression. We used Riesling for the Love White, which, as I mentioned, it's one that I love Riesling. It always has just intense character, fresh, crisp, refreshing, citrus, peach aromas. It's a bouquet of aromas in the glass, and I think that's really why this was a nice wine for that choice, Love White. For the Love Red, we chose Noire, which is a newer variety. I like to think of the red Zinfandel, robust red of the East Coast here. It's got this nice raspberry black pepper component. It's pretty smooth on the palate, and just an easy drinking wine. And when you think of love, you just want it to be easy, right? And that's kind of where we went with the wines. Yeah, so within the Lake Erie appellation, the AVA, where our vineyards are located, it's basically the old shoreline from the lake, and we have when the glacials deposited and they kind of melted back, a lot of the different minerals and rocks and things were deposited right there. So gravelly soil, really porous, so that water drains through the soils very quickly, and that's all perfect for the vines. They don't want to have wet feet, they say, where you have a lot of moisture in the ground, residual. It just drains through, and then with that water washing through, it kind of brings out the minerals, and the grapes are just able to thrive. And the band where our vineyards are located, there's a nice little mile-wide stretch off the Lake Erie shoreline, and most of our vineyards are situated right in that perfect zone, and it's allowed us to really grow some unique varieties to the region, and have some very expressive wines, and it's done very well for us a little bit. And a unique opportunity arose in 2005 with actually a local winery in Pennsylvania. Their winemaker had left after 23 years, and it's one of the wineries that we sell a lot of our fruit to. And my dad was dropping off samples, and the owner said, "Oh, shucks, you're gonna have to work with me this year because the winemaker is no longer here. But if you know anyone that might be interested, we are a little short-handed." My dad said, "Oh, I might know someone." And he came back here and kind of kicked me in the butt and said, "Hey, go up there and put in your application." And they interviewed me, hired me on the spot, and that was July of 2005. I went into my first harvest, went from making no wine to about 50,000 gallons of wine my first year. And by it was about November, they approached me and said, "Do you want to be the head winemaker here?" And so that means less hours and more money. And I accepted the spot, or the job on the spot, and worked there for 3 years, numerous awards and medals, and then decided that I wanted to see something a little different than cool climate here. I've only been in this region, so I went and seized the opportunity to go down to Australia and worked for a brand new winery, Stewart Wine Company, with 3 brands, a 1 million gallon facility, state of the art. It was a nice experience to go from the ma and pa type winery where I was at to just this I won't say super commercial, but just modern, ultra modern, state of the art facility. And it was interesting that the processes were still the same. They just had nicer, newer equipment that was able to do things a little more gently. And I came back after 2008, did a little stint in Germany, and came back here, convinced my parents that this is the right thing we need to do. Took a little bit of coaxing, but we finally got it. My dad was able to rip out a few vineyards, and my mom and I designed the facility, and broke ground in July of 2010, opened in September of 2011. We have access with 300 acres of grapes. I'm producing about 50,000 gallons roughly here. Well, I only use 5% of the grapes from our vineyard, and there's 300 acres, so I have the ability to get to expand a lot larger. And we were toying around on our end looking for another brand to kind of showcase a couple of our special varieties that we could go into the market with a really nice design, concept, and theme, and kind of marry this theme with a great product. And luckily we were approached at the right time with the right people, and with a great concept and idea that we hadn't even come up with yet. And that was kind of the nice thing. We had the varieties, but we didn't have the brand or the concept, the theme. And so it was just like a perfect marriage, and it was the right opportunity. The goal really was to build on the farm, kind of take what my family has done and take it to sustain, basically. Find another way to use the resources from the vineyard. You can sell to so many vineyards, or so many other wineries. We sell our grapes to 20, 30 different wineries, as well as some other juiceries, and we just wanted to find a way that if we're able to bring it here and we're able to use it, we have a little bit more control. We see where things are going, and it's also another out. If one of the other wineries doesn't purchase that year your fruit, well, what do you do with your fruit? And this way, we're able to use it, utilize it, nothing goes to waste. And my goal was just to basically build on top of the farm, add value to the farm, and then also look for sustainability in the long term, provide for my family. Hopefully my new son is able to step into this, and he has the option to get into the farm or to get into the winery. Regardless, we've got to be able to maintain both, and this is the way I saw I could do that without. I think our estate style facility, we have access to some of the best vineyards in the region. My father has been a well-known producer of fine grapes for a while, and having the ability to bring from the vineyard, going out and tasting and seeing that the grapes are ripe, within 2 hours I can have those grapes from the vineyard into my tank, ready to start the fermentation and the wine process. So what makes it unique is that we're able to just our proximity to our own vineyards, the tightness, the control, the quality, and so then we just have an end product that we've been able to maintain the quality right through. Also, my experience, traveled a little bit around the world, worked in other regions, bringing a touch of another region back into this area. Some of the other facilities have kind of built on their farm, but they never really got out and it got exposed to other regions, and I bring some of that knowledge from other areas back to this area. So that's been a great advantage to us. Cornell is, they are very supportive and of the wine and grape industry in the state of New York, and are building a great viticulture and enology program on the East Coast that's becoming recognized both internationally and nationally, and that's basically in our backyard. The station in Geneva and the Finger Lakes, as well as we have a lab right next door that butts up to our property, and so it works well. When you have a question or you have an issue, you're able to step right over to the researchers, and we can put an answer to the question of why, what happened, and we have an answer. I think that already the quick response without even having it really launched is quite amazing, I think. This is like that new excitement.
Yeah.
It was like all of a sudden it's like, oh, this is why I do this.
Yeah.
This is why I love this. Like to see something go from an idea and now it's, the vision is now a reality. That's cool.
Yeah.
Even
seeing it with Patrick's designs.
Yeah, exactly. When you brought it,
starting out.
I still remember the first day of having you wrapped on the back of the bottle. We might be able to do something with that. It's a good idea. And then as it came together, it just got richer and fuller, and love spread. So Love White, I would say, is rich, crisp, aromas of peach, citrus, a little bit of nectarine in there, and then finishes with a lingering crisp peach flavor. It's very peachy to me. And the Love Red is raspberry spice, and finishes with that a softer raspberry taste, not your crisp raspberry. It's a nice softer raspberry character.
Good.
With a light body, light to mid body, so it's easy drinking. You don't need to have it with food. You can have it just as sitting back and drinking it.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah, cheers.
Congratulations.
Yep, there you go. Oh, except I don't want
So this is going to be a little bit more abundance of aromatics. It's going to be peachy.
Oh, wow, it smells good.
Yeah. I'm going to smell that.
Smells really good.
Yeah. So,
Cheers. Yeah. Case number one. Oops, I pressed this button. Case number one. Love Wine Red. January 24th, 2014.
So Seymour Knox and Chris Kane, Masters of Love Wine.
Cheer it up.
yeah, this is pretty cool.
This is so exciting.
I'm not sure where it's going to show up on this.
You gotta do my name. Should I do my name or initials?
It's your,
What do you think?
your initials
Do your name.
look pretty cool, though. But yeah, I think your name. wondered who was paying for it. To the designer.
Nice.
Shifting tunes not out of tune, they're just drifting with the air. Just drifting with the air. Shapes of joy and sadness aren't bothered much by time. Clarity and madness, so they're just so often out of rhyme. So often out of rhyme. God, there are no secrets, no, 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 and still it seems unkind. You see how easy I forget. What is all you find. That's all you find. That's all you find. Caught in a illusion, we sail between our lines of black and white and what we know for what we'll never find, for what we'll never find. God, there are no secrets, no, 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 and still it seems unkind. Say something is mine, yes you have. So enjoy it while it's there, or soon it will disappear. Still